To throw on 4th and 18. He's given time. He wants Jefferson. Climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson. The catch of his life.
Good evening. Hey, everybody, they're doing it. Your boy, Coach Lee. We appreciate you hanging out with your boys. You know, we're already on the countdown to the weekend. We're 4 days away from it. But definitely happy Monday to everybody. You hanging out with your boys on the play call sheet. Got a great and exciting show for y'all tonight. But before we can get it started, let's get the crew up on this bad boy. First, right off the bat, we got my man, fellow Cowboy fan, Meta One.
Y'all say B-Town building. What's going on this Monday night? I ain't gonna say the other word because I ain't pausing shit. You know how we do it over here. Play call, she call your own audibles, but it better end in 6. If it's 3, that's cool, but you better win the game, man. That's what we looking to do over here. Coach on the left, happy fucking birthday. I don't care if it's belated. It's your birthday tonight, man. And we styling, profiling, limousine riding. We gonna do it up tonight, man. What's going on? You can almost make him out the Pixels over here, man. Coach going old school with it tonight. What's going on, Lewis? How you doing tonight? Shout out to the kneecap biting with the Detroit Lions. Good evening to you. Lions. I can't wait to open the night. These guys open up, man. It's a different generation now to see the Lions opening up the season, man. So let's see if not only them but General Motors can come up as well. Shout out to the crew and the brand, man. Shout out to everybody tuning in tonight. Coach, man, happy birthday, man.
Hey, fam, definitely appreciate it, man. Lewis, is that better for you, man?
That is better for me, man. Better, man. You know what I'm saying? Suit the Wi-Fi up. Coach said I got y'all. I was playing with y'all. You know what I'm saying? All good, man.
So what you get into this weekend, man?
Played in a little all-star game. You know what I'm saying? Made my presence felt a little bit on the court. You know, there wasn't a lot of passes going my way, you know, but I was able to make some key stops. You know what I'm saying? Lock some guys down. You know what I'm saying? You know, do what I can do for the team. You know, one thing about me, if I see a bunch of Kobe Bryants in the game, I'm just going to be Derek Fisher. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be Paul Gasol. I'm just going to wait my time, you know what I'm saying, to do my thing. We ended up winning, so I went out and celebrated. You know what I'm saying? I partied hard Friday night. Saturday was a little mellow key, you know, had my daughter. Yesterday was mellow, you know, had her, you know, again, and just chilled with family all day, man, you know, chilling.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Feeling the hat, man. Shout out to Sitchy, man. Shout out to my guy Miles. Go buy some merch, man. If you feeling froggy, you know. Austin Brighton's finest over here, man. Shout out to my man. My family.
Man.
Yeah, man. How was your weekend?
My weekend was litty.
Litty. I was supposed to be litty, man. You know,
had a lot of fun, man. Had a lot of fun. Shout out to my kids, man, that made it fun for me this weekend. Special shout out to my youngest daughter. She put everything together for me, man. We went to Austin, went to the Snoop concert, Snoop, Wiz Khalifa, Burner, Warren G, Too Short, Lady of Rage. Man, it was lit.
Yeah, definitely. That cast man lit, man. I would have been interested in seeing Too Short. Man, that's my guy.
He did his thing, man. Old school did his thing.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to you, man. Happy motherfucker. Like I said, your birthday all week, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a party now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have a lot of stuff at the table to bring tonight. I know you've had everything just about this weekend, but I have my loud energy to bring to you. So happy birthday, my guy. And I'll be out there next month. So you know the birthday party don't stop. You know what I'm saying?
Rock and roll, man. I already threw out some failures. I'm like, I got my peoples coming in. I need restaurant recommendations because I don't want to take it to all the hood spots I know. So I'm gonna take it to some decent places as well.
All right, cool, man. See, best of both worlds, man. You know what I'm saying? Indeed, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Comment, like, share, subscribe, man. We're gonna ride it on YouTube tonight. You know, we riding on Facebook tonight, riding out on Twitch as well, man. So, you know, catch those out, man, and vibe with us. Went to that show in Mansfield. Lady of Rage blew me away. 50 was a good concert too. Yeah, man. Mansfield's definitely a thing for it, man. You know, up here in Massachusetts, you know, you got the Garden. You know, you get people like Beyonce that can only be at Foxborough. They ain't gonna bring the hood to Gillette. But in terms of any venue, you know, you can catch somebody, especially people that you like, you know, in a good vibe, man. It's dope.
Absolutely, man.
We called our first play, man. And speaking of, you know, people being in different stadiums, there might be a running back at a different stadium, but we don't know when. Couple hours ago, according to all major airwaves, Jonathan Taylor has finally had his trade request seeking, as he can seek a trade now. The running back of the Indianapolis Colts going into his third year in the league. Great overall talent. I feel in the last year, the games missed kind of devalues him. And as Unc said earlier, shout out to Unc. Unc says it devalues everything about him. You know, you can go from the NFL to fantasy and things like that. Had a 16 touchdown campaign in his rookie year, 4 touchdowns last year due to injuries on 192 touches. Year before that, in the stellar year, was about 390. So that's a big difference in that. For him to not only say F the coach, but I want to trade. One, what's the reasoning for it? And two, what's he gonna find better? And who's gonna throw that pitch out? Who's gonna throw what the coach want at him?
Okay, so I got a little bit of everything for you in that aspect. Let's take the most recent one. Who's gonna bite? So the latest rumor I've heard that somebody has the interest who missed out on the Dalvin Cook sweepstakes last week, the Miami Dolphins. Miami, you know, they might be trying to go all in. You know, they got a loaded offense, decent defense. Their running game could be the missing link. And also, you got to remember, they want to keep their quarterback upright as much as possible. If he's going to be in the pocket, all he needs to be doing is throwing downfield, jump off to the tight end. Miami, dump out to the tight ends and the running backs out of the backfield and try to keep them upright. And what's the best way to do that to a quarterback who's on the smaller side and has the tendency to get banged up? A good running game. They already have A-Chain there. So he's your home run hitter. And you bring this guy in and be kind of thing. And the second thing is why he might be out of favor. I hate to say this, because even though I shout out to the Lions, to win a division this year. Got it. They're up and coming team. Most people that know me know that even though you ain't supposed to have a second team, I have a acute affinity for the Colts. My college position coach is the general manager up there. And I was talking to somebody this weekend, from college, and we was talking about how much longer you think Coach Ballard going to be up there. And they said he's done because when they pulled the deal with Jeff Saturday last year, kind of like a publicity stunt to bring him in as a coach, that kind of sealed the GM's fate at that point in time. Because the GM didn't want to sign off on it, I would imagine, but the owner made the call. Once you got your owner doing that, then he's pretty much lost faith in the GM. So they got a new quarterback that came in this year, Richardson, who's already been named the starter for week 1. They're about to trade the running back away. So this is probably going to be the year that he uses a reason to clean house.
And blow the team up eventually with a new rookie quarterback. As for me, says, my thing is, damn, man, you go from Andrew Luck wanting to leave out to now Jonathan Taylor wanting to leave out. And you made a great pitch to me on why he wanted to leave. And I didn't know the organization was all the way dead damn like that. I know the Jeff Saturday thing was like definitely wild, but, they didn't retain him. So I figured that it would be something of, just a pass by, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't know what the hell they're doing at the coaching position. But it seems like they don't know what the hell they're doing anywhere besides, the man that is going to be under center. My thing is, you said Miami. And there's a couple of teams that, have QBs that have been injured that can use the services. A team that I believe could use the services as well is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, you have Lamar Jackson going into a new offensive style. You've never given him the prime running back either. We gave him a stable of running backs. You never really gave him receivers. You give him some receivers this year. Maybe they go in. You have Lamar locked up. So now you can kind of do whatever you want to do now again. Same what you was doing before you signed him. Now you signed him, you kind of go back to that reality. First year, you can kind of give him what he wants. You're going to pitch to Lamar. Do you want Jonathan? The Ravens could be another team that could potentially be a sleeper.
I can definitely see that.
Lewis said send him to the Canadian Football League. Hold on, let me get that. And Jake, I'm not wearing it for this reason, but I'm gonna say it here. Want to give prayers to everybody in the West Coast. The hurricane this weekend, Dodger Stadium was flooded. Not the reason why I'm wearing the shirt. The reason why I'm wearing the shirt because it was actually a $6 shirt at Urban Outfitters, 60% off. So I got it, and I'm wearing it, So that's why I'm wearing it, Jake. But the prime J.K. Dobbins disrespect. No, J.K. was nice, but the injuries happened. What I'm saying is right now where you're Lamar and you I think the Ravens are a team every year that wants to get to the playoffs, potentially try to get to a Super Bowl. Why not go get a hitter like Jonathan Taylor that proves that he can play? So I wouldn't be mad if he did that. Shout out to Ant Price as well. If the Colts get a first round for Taylor, they will flip that and draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
Another team. What was the last team you just said that might be a contender?
What I said? No, I said Baltimore. I didn't say another team. Yeah.
Okay. So another team that just going across the waiver wires. Two other teams have come up. The Buffalo Bills as a potential destination, and our Dallas Cowboys.
You know what's crazy? I was thinking Cowboys earlier, but I said, nah, let me scratch that out because I don't want to seem like a homer. Because it's the first thing I thought of off the rip. But can't be a homer. So other one you said, Buffalo, definitely a Bengal because they didn't really go after any prime running back. Another team, too, that can be after them if they wanted to just give up the guy that's been going through court and he's not guilty of charges, but he's still going to cause a problem for the Bengals, and that's Joe Nixon. You go get Jonathan Taylor for the Bengals, too. And I'm just saying that from the perspective of Joe Burrow, though he's been a beast, got injured early in the preseason in practice. He's been held with injuries. You know what I'm saying? You want to send somebody back. That's why I'm saying that, everybody. I'm not calling Joe Burrow injury goods. I'm not calling him a scrub, any of that. But that's another team in perspective that can go get him. Another team, too, is the Vikings. The Vikings, Do you believe in Madison? I don't really believe in him as an all-around 4-down back. If the Vikings don't believe in him as that, maybe they go after him too. Who that? What's going on with you? What's going on, BS?
Shout out to BS. Did he
I think it's
actually?
more than money.
Does he have a favorites list? I think he does. So I'm wondering, like somebody asked the question, does he want to get paid or does he want to win? I would probably say I think it's the money. Because it's the decline on the running back. They don't really get paid. And he's still playing on a rookie contract right now.
Right.
And
so he's trying to develop that bag.
In the last 2 seasons, his team has gone 9-8 and 4-12-1.
In bad fashion
So,
too, and like you said, last year he didn't play in part of in the season like that.
now I think he only played 11 games last year. I think
it was definitely a crazy drop from 16 to 4 touchdowns last year. That might have been that might have stirred the pot up, and then what Indy's been doing, probably forced him to try to say, "Hey, I'm out." And then what the coach did today, with 2.5 weeks till the season starts.
Yeah.
This is definitely a Debbie Downer in terms of volume and all that too. Definitely a Debbie Downer for him. But he really wants to be out. Let's see what team's going to snatch him for a teeny juice, because that's absolutely what I think he's going to go for.
For how much?
These running backs, a teeny juice. These running backs have been being disrespected. And you, again, want to go against the grain. I understand Jonathan Taylor's a great player. He is. But you just see all the running backs that are trying to get paid. All the running backs that are just trying to get to another team. Yes, you want to get paid.
They didn't get his money.
But at the end of the day, that's not how you go about it as a professional.
Right.
You play out. And then that's going to get you the money. Because one thing they look for is loyalty. And now you can beat on the bush of, oh, well, they're not loyal to this. And they're not loyal to that. But at the end of the day, that's the way you're going to get paid as a running back. Honestly.
You gotta
if you do get paid. If you do get paid. Upset.
BS and Bear said they should get paid. Okay. I agree with him on that.
No, he definitely, shout out to all running back. Everybody should get paid. Everybody
now, here's the thing. There's no guarantee that the team you go to is going to win.
Exactly.
But it guarantee you pick up the next morning, the next morning, and the game checks in your account.
Yeah, man, you just gotta stay loyal. You gotta go over there and hit the crunches and hurt not to get old. And I agree with you, BS. I'm gonna call you BS tonight. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna call you by your real name. But I just feel it's a double-edged sword at the running back position. Do you want a job or do you not want a job?
Right.
Do you want to be in what Lewis said earlier, the Canadian Football League, or do you want to be in the National Football League?
Who's going to be the sacrificial for them?
What's that?
Who's going to be the sacrificial lamb for them?
It might be Jonathan Taylor. It might be the guy that's only been in the league 3 years.
Right.
It might be him. Because you're asking this. I mean, you haven't been asked. You didn't ask this late. You've been asking. But now the coach are like, well, we're just going to let you swim out here.
Right.
You can seek a trade. And you come out. But Irsay's been saying that he expects Jonathan to be there. And now you're going to give him the trade request. So now you're really going to let Jonathan see what's in the real world for him.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the coach controlled that whole ultimatum. So why not stay? Why not stay? But Taylor, to my eyes, not worth a first, maybe a second. He probably only worth a third, maybe a fourth. Be real with it.
Yeah,
the season he had last year does not help him.
Yeah, 11 games last year in the running back position. They're definitely not giving up a first for him. I think, and I'm with you. I think a second is going to be too high.
Second is going to be too high.
Because whoever gets him is going to have to pay him in order to keep him. So they're not going to give up any. I think a third is a max from a draft capital standpoint. That's why I think Dallas will be out. Dallas does not like giving up the higher draft picks.
Right.
Because they draft pretty well.
I mean, we seen Deuce Vaughn doing his thing, man. Hopefully that can keep on shining, man. You know, but if Dallas looks at this, I will not be mad at it at all. But in the meantime, just stay its course, man. Everything will follow through. Jonathan, hope you get your wishes. Hope you get your trade. Hope you get to a team that you know you want to be with, because you can't say so many times you want to be traded. It's not the NBA. You are not James Harden, and you are not being traded to every team you want. So there we go on that clip. Speaking of that, you know, before we get into our first official segment, you know, that was just a segue for that. You know, shout out to everybody tuning in. Got to bring in the man. Now, he says he's been having a little bit of internet issues, but it's all right, man. Everybody goes through it once in a while. I do, Coach does, and this guy does clearly. But we're going to bring him in this week, man. Welcome to the show, Triangle Offense's finest, Willie Willie.
What's good, man? What's good, man? Man, Xfinity about to get a whole helping of my foot in the ass. I know that.
He got the look on his face like he wants no part of it.
Behave, man. Behave.
Oh, yeah. It won't be no behaving. What's good, Unc? I'm about to pull up on Xfinity tomorrow, man. It's about to get real serious for their work. And I know the crazy part is I know the workers at the station, they ain't got nothing to do with it. Well, they gonna feel it though. They gonna hate tomorrow.
Definitely. What's going on?
What's good, people? How we doing? Well, I came into the play call sheet, heard some shit about James Harden, had me all fucked up.
Oh yeah, we can play James Harden to Jonathan Taylor. He thinks he's James Harden. They can try to request trades and try to be on any team he wants. You know, there's only so many times in the NFL you could do that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
At least it's his first time, and he's doing it.
It's early in his career.
He's still prime. And he's still in his prime, man. I get it, man. Look, he's trying to get paid. He's a running back. They don't pay running backs. He got to figure it out.
Sacrificial lamb is what we think he may be playing. You know what I'm saying? He may
not do that. Like he riding for the rest of the running backs? Nah, maybe.
Hey, somebody got to, man. And hey, we haven't heard about
Travis Etienne sure as hell didn't. He was like, y'all, man, that shit between y'all, man. I'm gonna play my role.
Word up, man. But we getting into first segment, which was the NFL preseason week 2. Obviously you have some losers, winners, and you have guys that you know spark TV screens, and you got people that you know may have not, and you may have some people that we are praying for in regards to you know just possibly playing again this season. But we'll get into the winners and losers of week 2 of the preseason. First off, the winners. Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Interesting showing of the Steelers starting offense en route to a 27-15 win over Buffalo. Kenny Pickett started the game and played the opening 2 series, leading the offense to back-to-back touchdown drives. Efficient, 3 for 4 for 43 yards, which included a 25-yard touchdown to Pat Ferrier. Running back Jalen Warren also dashed on the opening drive, taking the handoff 62 yards to the house. Now, we explained kind of what the oopsie daisy may be with Pittsburgh's offense a few times this offseason. It's Kenny Pickett probably because you have some stellar receivers. You got a great tight end that you just inserted in the system. You got 2 good running backs. Your offensive line is going to be a struggle, but you got to get up from that. And your quarterback's ultimately the last hurdle. So, I mean, obviously it's preseason, but do you feel that Kenny Pickett could lead the Steelers offense to great success?
Depends on if Canada gets better. He's terrible, like Lewis just said. He's not. Some of the play calls they make, I just don't understand.
Shout out to you, Lewis. I think he is too.
George Pickens, I agree, Jake. George Pickens is about to be one of the next up for elite wide receivers as long as they feed him the ball. That man's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Yep, the feed of the ball, man. And Pittsburgh gets those. Pittsburgh grooms those wide receivers to the core. You know what I'm saying? Canada's awful. Shout out to Lewis, man. Canada, if you ain't hearing yourself around the news world, Lewis got you, man. And the only way you can catch your ears on STWF, man, the play call sheet.
Yeah, that boy a whole ass bum. It's crazy.
Now, Ant, we can get into dual running backs, man. But in all, we're getting into this the Steelers offense because that's definitely one that we all agreed on. You know, may have some problems, you know, with that position in the quarterback. So let's see if he can progress, you know, and become great and have the naysayers riding them and having Pittsburgh on a high again. Losers, the Buffalo offense, they played the Steelers hummed with his starters. The same can't be said for what was going on with their opponent in the Bills. Josh Allen started the game with an offense that was straight punting in all three of their possessions with the MVP candidate under center. That included 2 3-and-outs and just 36 yards of total offense. Now, we know Buffalo, they're a team that you get into the season, you see how the offense is primed. They usually the first few weeks put some points on teams. We know that. But we also have simplified some things that may make the Buffalo Bills offense less efficient this year. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to score points, but have they fixed the things that need to be fixed to keep themselves in the Super Bowl window?
Their problem is a philosophy problem. Yeah, that's the answer. I was going to get deeper, but the truth is no, is the answer. But it's a philosophy problem, man. Like, it's a philosophy problem. They don't want to run the ball. Even if remember how we kept saying every time a running back comes free, if Buffalo get a running back, if they get this guy, and every time I'll be like, does it really matter though? Because they ain't gonna give it to him. It don't matter who they got back there. They don't give him the ball. Everybody's like, oh, they got Dalton.
Right.
Everybody's like, they got Dalton Kincaid. So they didn't pass the Docs. What's it gonna mean? They want to throw 40 passes a game to 2 wide receivers. That's what they want to do.
Bang, bang.
Ain't gonna work.
Man.
But that's the problem that they have. You had mentioned they changed the philosophy when they went from Dabble to Dorsey. It changed significantly. Dabble has more of a just case in point. Look what he did for the Giants last year.
Yeah,
he went in. They had an identity. His rhythm was there. His play calling was in place. But then again, he's an experienced play caller. Buffalo's got Dorsey in there. Dorsey reminds me of Kellen Moore.
So much.
He's a quarterback at heart.
Like scary amount. And it's weird because Dorsey was a check down Charlie. So I don't know why he ain't got them throwing to tight ends and shit like that. Nope.
Tight ends and backs swinging out of the backfield.
At this point, I believe they truly need to move Diggs and just suck it up. That it might hurt them for a while.
Well, early on first take, Stephen A. Smith iterated that Diggs wanted out of Buffalo. Diggs iterated with 2 tweets saying that completely false. I'm here, Buffalo, for the ride. I'm here, also saying that, Josh Allen's his guy, in the picture. So Stephen Diggs is saying that Buffalo's home right now. So it's a good thing you said that because it's been swirling today. Stephen A. Smith's trying to creep his way into Shannon Sharp's house. It seems like he's been to Shannon Sharp's house already. Shannon Sharp as well, man, for the new gig.
Shannon finna kick his ass in that house, though. I know that.
Hey, but Stephen A. might need somebody right now to kick his ass as
well.
No,
he do. Shannon, he don't know the game of football like that. He can report all he wants. He can learn some, but
definitely. I mean, Stephen A's been in this game for so long, man. And it wouldn't surprise me if Stephen A. just chill and let Shannon rock. Picture Shannon on what? And ESPN with them fools of the way they trying to do sports nowadays. They'll let Shay bring his little yak and stuff on there and maybe have Club Shay on there. But back to the winners, man.
That'll be the day. I love to see that shit.
Back to the winners.
He needs help. He needs a good number 2. I think Gabe Davis is decent.
Gabe Davis is nice.
That goes back to the offensive court.
I'm going to be real with y'all. I think that wide receiver core is gone. Diggs is the guy. But everybody else, I just think.
Nah, Gabe gets busy, bro. Gabe gets busy, bro.
And he delivers in the playoff.
Gabe is busy. Like I said, it really is, and I'm not trying to pretend like I'm just right. It really is a philosophy problem, bro. They literally just want to throw nonstop to those 2 guys. They don't want to use tight ends. They don't want to dedicate to the run.
Got the hurricane hitting on Will's behalf, man. But we feeling like what he's saying is Buffalo just as years gone by, they just philosophy-wise just kind of kept the same mojo. They don't want to move. They don't want to do anything, but, know that Josh Allen's going to help them every least of the way, man. So another winner we have Bijan Robinson, running back of the Atlanta Falcons, didn't point. While he didn't get a ton of action, what he did and see from the number 8 overall pick flashed the hype of the game. Breaking ability that may expect him to have right out the gate. On his first carry, weave his way around the finish for a 12-yard gain. Now, we're gonna show you, you know what I'm saying, the little fancy dancy work, you know, to have everybody out in their seats in Atlanta at Chick-fil-A.
I know, right?
Xfinity does strike again.
He always gonna make the first person miss.
Yes. And that's one thing you like about him. It's like, I mean, you know, man, you like to see, you know, high praise of him, man. Obviously, you know, you get between the 6 and week 1, it's gonna be more importance. But shout out to that man. You know, he's a guy that everybody's been raving and still raving about, even though being on the Falcons, man. They feel like he could probably be the Falcons' golden charm. Let's see if he can be that this year.
Right.
You know, see what the production looks like, you know. And I think the production will be high. But let's see how the Falcons as a team can go. You know, they added some pieces during the offseason, as everybody did. And gonna see how they rock with that, man. Will about to beat up Xfinity posters all around the world, man. Will about to write Verizon a detail letter. He leave Verizon after this. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring my man back in, man. But before we do, Gardray Miller said he was the best back in the Big 12 last season. You know what the crazy thing is? Another winner was the Saints running backs. You know, Alvin Kamara suspended for 3 games. You know, Gardray Miller, you know, put in that work. You know what I'm saying? For the Saints, man, looking like, you know, if they wanted to get rid of Kamara, you know, they have their guy in the future. You know, and, hey, with the way this money's going on in this world, everybody gonna scream to the best, because you know why? Everybody has a price. You know what I'm saying? So it's more than that, man. So I'm not mad at the young man for saying that, man. You're supposed to feel confident about yourself. Coach, how you feeling, man, about the Saints, man? Saints this season, man. They looking okay in preseason.
Well. So you're gonna ask me that, and I looked this morning, and what did I see? The Saints fans are calling for crab legs to start. It's already started,
man. I've seen that over Derek Carr, which is interesting. I mean, eventually it could happen. I mean, if Derek stinks the gym up, you know, you will see crab legs in action.
Man, if he gets beat out by crab legs, man, he might as well hang it up, because he finna be a journeyman backup for the rest of his career.
Why are you acting like Coach? Why are you asking Coach like he's a Saints fan? Because we have to ask him, man. You know what I'm saying? Coach likes to answer questions about the Saints, maybe in a negative way most of the time. But hey, I would like to hear the answer, man. For real.
It ain't usually negative. It's whatever energy I'm getting from their fans, man. You know, I'm a football fan first. Well, y'all reading this stuff? I'm telling you, man. I saw it this morning, Mr. Dale. Y'all big nervous, huh?
You reading this stuff, man. This stuff, hey, it's gonna be, hey, Jameis Winston has the aura in New Orleans to talk and swindle his way to the number 1 spot. You know, because are you really relying on Derek? But I hope Derek has a good season for real. And all for all he went through last year with Las Vegas, sorry, and not Oakland no more. I hope with great success. But if Jameis Winston takes your spot, man, that's probably the end of your starting career. Well, this is probably your last starting spot anyhow.
So when did the Saints their final game? Is it against the Chargers? No, they're playing the Chargers right now, right?
Oh, they played the Chargers last night. Actually, in that game, there was raindrops coming into the stadium last night before the game. I can't be the only one who gets I can't be the only one who gets used to a skinny Jameis. I used to fat boy Jameis. He fits now. Jameis been fit. I think the problem with Jameis it's just the mindset and the mind frame. You know what I'm saying? Just the preparation for the game. You know, you see it on the field with Jameis. You know what I'm saying? Where you see it with a lot of athletes who are primetime guys. You know, he's a two-sport guy. Two people don't realize. Jameis Winston was a baseball player too. So it's more of just being spoiled. And eventually in this game, the spoiledness breaks out. If you're not performing, you're going to start being treated like a stepchild. And that's what James has been stepped by. But now James is accepting being in the family and accepting, you know, morals and values, and that you can't be the best every day, you know, and that's what he's going through right now. So, yeah, James. So, fellas, man, hey, we do have another Saints story later on. You know why? Because because we have a Saints story, man. We have to keep New Orleans faithful. I heard from the New Orleans mayor the other day. He said, "Hey, man, you know, guys, Saints stuff. We got to do more Saints stuff." So I told Unc tonight, I got an excellent Saints story for you guys. You know, so we're gonna go through that. But before we do that, we are going to talk about another incident that occurred this weekend, and it was in Lambeau. It was between the Packers and the Patriots. Isaiah Bolden, Patriots cornerback, was on the field with a serious injury after being into a collision with his teammate, and the game stopped. Of course, you know, get him off the field and things like that, and the game ended up being canceled. Game ended up just like that. And we know the NFL and the safety and years have passed, and you know different situations have happened. We remember last year, Hamlin, you know, the game ended, the game never resumed, things of that nature. We know we're used to seeing, you know, stuff like this happen, and the player gets carted off and they resume football. And we know we're in a new time, but the question is, and it's definitely a bold one, maybe not. Okay. Could you see? I'm not wishing for it, but is this something that we will continue to see in games? And we're gonna go skip Bayless a little bit in the games that matter. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna skip Bayless a little bit for a second. You know, so
I think the more that you talk about, so when you bring up Skip Bayless, I assume you're talking about the stoppage of the game.
Yeah, basically like
because of an injury. Yeah, to that, yeah, I can see that happening more. Because the more comfortable people get with it, the more people are gonna have to understand this is deeper than football.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't ask these guys to go to war with each other like that and not look at them as brothers at times, and even if they don't always get along, and then expect them to continue to play a game when somebody goes down like that. You know what I mean? So I could see it happening more. I think it'll vary on the depending on, because like if a guy breaks his leg into, like that's still just as like it sucks, but you're gonna play that game. So it depends on the severity of that injury for sure.
Yeah, man. Shout out to him, man. I feel sorry, but you can't end the game early all the time for an injured player.
No, I agree. I do agree. Not an injured player, but when a guy's life is on the line sometimes.
My man, Will, man. Come on, Will. We pushing the connection in here, man. You know what I'm saying? Coach. You know what I'm saying? Until he comes back, man. Your opinions on it. Because you you watched hella games. You've seen way more injuries than I probably have ever.
It's a hella game. Yeah, I have. Man. Yeah, man. I think you got to keep in mind we're about 7 months removed since the Hamlin incident. They're going to take a lot of precaution behind that, because you've already had over the years, and you know people are always throwing out there that eventually NFL is going to turn into flag football because of all of the injuries that happen, and then the public perception of it, of being kind of unsafe, so to speak, or too risque for injuries to the extremities and whatnot. So I think for them, because the NFL is all about the shield, they're going to protect their shield first. And with that being said, they're going to take precautions. It's preseason, it's kind of a meaningless game, and I think they did the right thing in this incident. But I don't know who said it in the comments, but like they were saying, you can't do it for every game. Can we make that a screensaver? Ooh, yeah, it does suck.
Definitely does.
Yeah. I lost a fantasy league game too last year.
Then a lot of people do, man. A lot of people was debating in it. I had people screaming at me like, "Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I won the championship game last year because I was going to win anyway, regardless. That game was not going to have nothing to do with my winning. But I gave the guy that was in second place an extra couple dollars, just for being nice. But I whooped his ass anyway. But in terms of the game, yeah, man, you're going to see a lot of this, man, because it's the way the game is a better way to be safe. You can never be safe on a football field. And it's actually kind of funny because they mentioned last week that NFL players cannot wear those hats, those kind of things that they wear over the helmet to protect, I guess, vital hits like that. Yeah, I guess it was going around. Certain NFL players wanted to wear that, and the NFL said no.
You know why? I think the only reason why, because it covers up the team logos. It's a team color, but there's no logo or anything.
Right, there's no logo. We're going back to video game. It'll be a video game.
The old school game before they had licensing.
Right, exactly.
Everybody look like Brown.
Man, since that time, you can feel his extremities. He's out the hospital. He's definitely not gonna be with the team at all for the next probably couple weeks. They canceled joint practice with the Titans, I believe, which is their next opponent, and just hopefully for a speedy recovery from him. Hey, yo, Will, we're going to try to bring you back in again, man. You might be back here. He's not squeezing out on, but we got you here, Willie, man. Fellas, man. Y'all want to go take a sip of the Jerry juice, you know what I'm saying? And come back at 15 and 20? Or y'all want to keep rolling on this nice, wonderful Monday night?
Let's get this next topic out, take the break, and then we'll hit him over the head with that
Okay, we hit him over the head with the last segment. All right, so I told Unc we was gonna get more Saints news in here, and it was gonna be the best news ever, But it's not the best news ever. And earlier last month, the Saints welcome back a New Orleans legend, a fantasy legend, and that was Sir Jimmy Graham. But after this recent incident, who knows if Jimmy Graham will have a job anymore? He was arrested allegedly after a medical episode. In the footage obtained by TMZ Sports, you see Jimmy Graham running away from two security guards at a Southern California resort. Looks like he was being restrained and he was at the Cuckoo House. But maybe that's just me. There's some folks who were there that says Jimmy was hiding in some bushes before fleeing from security. Now, the Saints did address the arrest, saying the tight end experienced a medical episode Friday night, which resulted in him becoming disoriented. After he was taken into custody, the team said Graham was sent to a nearby hospital to get checked out. The Saints added Graham likely suffered a seizure and spent the night in the medical facility to receive further testing. He is now back with the team. Now, coach is going to get that video up of Mr. Jimmy Graham running laps for touchdowns in the offseason. Run, Jimmy, run! My guy's gone. Oh.
Nobody's running fast.
Oh, man. Don't take my topic. What is the point in preseason if you're doing joint practices? I don't know, but I kind of not mad at the joint practices because you should be playing. For me, like practice against each other, okay, that's cool, but you have to prove yourself against the teams. And practice is not bad because practice is different from the game. So in practice, it motivates you to play in the game. I'm not mad at the joint practices at all. I like it.
Well, you got to think too. What we just saw from our favorite team that we cheered for last week, they beating the hell out of each other. Right, after about that, they kind of looking at each other. They want to look at the other stuff, and also it's a mean for them now. I'm gonna throw a theory out there. It's two things. It's the mean for them to continue to market their brands, which we talked about earlier. Also, it gave them a little bit of insight. They can see some additional players out there. So when they come time to cut down to the 53-man roster, that they can go snake some people off the practice squad. because they've seen them in practice, they've seen them in the game. So they got a little bit of insight to it. I think that's another reason behind it as well.
Right, definitely. You get those teams like, oh yeah, that player was nice over there. Oh yeah, he got cut. Yeah, we see him play. Yo, you seen us over here. We played y'all. Yeah, it absolutely works. I'm not mad at it, man. But great questions, man. Great input from everybody over here. Chilling, man. Jimmy Graham, is gonna be okay. I believe he is gonna travel with the Saints in the next game, which he did, and this season, man. I mean, the Saints are going to be somewhat of a news story in the South. Let's see if Jimmy Graham is part of it, man, because now after reading this, I heard of the news. Now of actually reading it and now reporting it to you guys, I thought that it was going to be something that his career was going to be over. But unfortunately, this may be like Dale and BS Bill Media just mentioned that it was Abion.
I'm not even going to lie, fam. I apologize, but when they signed him, I had no idea he was even still playing.
Me either. I thought he retired. I'm like, hold on, the Saints are looking at joint practices over there in the hood or something to bring him back.
It's something at a pickup game.
Well, okay, they're saying, wow, man. But hey, told you,
Dale.
Told y'all, we got Saints news, man. We're going to have tons of Saints news during the season. And, hey, we're going to touch up on your team this season, too, man. If you're a fan of another team, we have Ant Price in here, man. You are a
what he is.
It's a Washington fan, but we talk about Washington in the sense, man. Some good things, some bad things. We got the Saints in here, Will and the Stinky Patriots, along with Jake and the Stinky Patriots. We here. Coach, you thought it was a one-day contract?
Ceremony retires, yeah. Like, this dude's still
call him out. It's the car effect, man. Hey, New Orleans is going to New Orleans with you, man. But fellas, we gonna go into a commercial break because we got to pay bills in here, man, and we got some nice commercials that we want y'all to watch. You know what I'm saying? While you're taking our breaks with us, like, share, subscribe to the channel, man. STWF Media.
What's good with the people? It's Montreal McNeander, NFL linebacker for the Cleveland Browns and Grambling alumni. I had to come through today. Give a special shout out to my dudes over at STWF Media, the big brand, where you can talk sports with the other NFL players, fans in their Facebook community. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go get them boys a shout out. Go check out their page. And I promise you, man, you're gonna love everything that you hear and enjoy it.
Love it, man.
Love it.
If you want to be on a commercial one day it may be you on there, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Keep shouting us out, keep saluting, keep commenting, sharing, tapping into your boys, man. We're here on the play call sheet. Episode 4, man. Told y'all, man, season 4 is out to a bang, man. And hey, you know how we do it over here. We usually go into, insight on teams, before the season starts. We usually go division by division. And in a sense, we are going to go division by division, but we're going to go on an interesting twist this year. And it's going to be a little 2-week segue. Tonight, we're going to feature the NFC, but it's bold predictions for every NFL team in 2023. I said tonight, me and Coach are going to ride the wave and speak on the NFC. We're going to read a bold prediction for each team in the NFC. And, if you guys like to comment, and we'll chat with y'all for a little bit. So, hey, I was Eric, the enemy. Make Howell and Washington into a legit offense. He needs a head coaching job. If he does make it, yeah. I mean,
hey.
Because Rivera thinks he's getting an extension for some reason. And I don't know why.
No, he's done. No ownership coming in. He probably should have been gone 2 years ago because they've overachieved the entire time he's been there. I knew he wasn't serious about winning when they was in a dire need of a quarterback, and he didn't even bring Cam in for a look.
For real. Like, you messed yourself up by doing that. Like, there's no way like you're a star. The guy that made you famous in a sense as a coach.
Right.
You didn't go do that. And then, like I said, I've been saying it for years. I feel like the cancer that he had, I feel like and everybody, a lot of people will do it in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Kept his job a little bit. I just feel that way. I feel bad saying it, but I just feel like has not been a great coach for years. Sam Howell looks great, but like you said, good point, because like you said, everybody can look great. But then when you put on the lights and it's week 1, week 2, week 3, let's see how they're doing. But I hope Sam and the Commanders turn their name back to the Redskins and they prevail their thing, man. But like I said,
they got an identity crisis right now.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think the
first half. Oh, snap! They're playing the Ravens tonight, right? Preseason, right? Okay.
Yeah. So I think the first division that we're looking at tonight is the NFC West.
Yes, the NFC West. So all right. We have.
Hold on 1 second. What we got here? Dale hooked us up today.
The NFC West.
Shout
out to my guy Dale, man.
Sir, shout out to Dale. Shout out to Dale. NFC West. Bold predictions. Like I said, we're gonna go bold and we're gonna start in San Francisco, where they're hoping that Brock Purdy is ready by opening week. But in that being said, you have another quarterback in Trey Lance, who hasn't been the 49ers cup of tea, man, and they traded a lot for him. So one of the bold predictions states for the 49ers that Trey Lance gets shipped to a new team this season.
I can see that. But man, considering what they gave up for him.
They gave a lot for this man. They gave a lot.
And they passed over a lot. I think isn't that the same draft that Fields was in?
Yes.
So they passed on him. Trying to think who else was in that draft with him. I saw it the other day because he was a third overall pick himself. And I think they gave up him. They gave up
Hold on. So let's see who that's this 21 draft. Trevor Lawrence is in that draft.
22, 23, and a third in 22.
Right. You had Michael Parsons in that draft. You had a whole bunch of talent in that draft. Any way you could have went, and you went him.
Him. He got your starter with the last pick of the draft.
It says Trey Lance shipped to New England or Tampa Bay. I mean, those are likely destinations. The Patriots, they're not smelling Mac. Heard him and Bill got into some things this week in camp.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Bill had to set him straight a little bit. You know what I'm saying, on some things. I just honestly just think Bill this expects too much from Mac. And hey, you got Tom Brady for all these years, man. Why not? Or why wouldn't you believe that way? So, to the 49ers, man.
Smelling himself? He going at Bill? He smelling himself.
Ooh. Going at Bill, man. So that's what it is for that, man. Hey, the Los Angeles Rams. Ooh. Now, had a great year one with Matthew Stafford. Year 2, a lot of injuries. A lot of players gone this year. And they kind of turn a new leaf in regards. Sean McVay's not really interested in coaching anymore. Aaron Donald looking like he's on his way out. You got Cooper Kupp coming back from injury, though. Did get a little bummed up last week, but haven't heard nothing crazy since, so he should be okay. So this is a bold prediction right here for all this saying. And the next juggernaut, the juggernaut of the Los Angeles Rams, the team that should have been, their offense will be a bottom 10 offensive team in the NFL.
I can see that. I can definitely see that because who they got at Stafford's overrated, man. He didn't do them in because they had so much talent around him that you'd have won the Super Bowl. But he did try to give that game away.
For real. Definitely try to get that game away. And like I said, man, hey, they clipped in for a championship. A lot of teams do it. So you can't be mad at the end of the day. But you like we mentioned, Aaron Donald, does he still want to play football after this year? Sean McVay, does he still want to play football this year? Is this just the Los Angeles story? Oh, we did it to get one, and that's all we need. It's going to be pretty interesting, that QB position. It's going to be interesting to see what other offensive players they can make up in that offense, because that's what that offense is predicated for, making stars like Cooper Kupp and, Todd Gurley, who's gone. But now you have to make new stars, and can the Rams do that? Defensively, has been holding them down for a long time. We're going to see a shadow of them, as well. Probably not. But the offense definitely needs to tune this year. You definitely need to find a spot, or your season's going to be over quickly. So we ride out to Arizona and the Arizona Cardinals. This is very bold right here. Shout out to PFF as well. Kyler Murray is back starting games by October.
Hell no. I ain't drinking that Kool-Aid.
January 3rd is when he had his injury. When he had his surgery, January 3rd. Combined with having little to play for this season, it was an offseason assumption that he wouldn't be featured until late in the year, if at all. Is Kyler willing to risk it?
Somebody that we had kind of compared him to, and we hope that we didn't see a repeat of it, on how they did RG3. Don't rush him out there too soon. His biggest asset is his ability to scramble. Why would you rush him out there?
I hope not. I hope they don't bring him back right here and right now. But you know how the NFL goes, man. And Kyler has been working out as if he wants to come back. And that's the interesting thing right there. Now, if he was so like, oh, man, I'm not progressing, all this and that, maybe you could play an injury that way. I don't know. But the way he's been in rehab is like, I want to get back on the field and play. So it kind of hurts if you're thinking as a fan and the inside in, like, damn, my Cardinals are toast. But the Cardinals, I'm thinking of laughing, like, we want this motherfucker to burn his ass out. And Kyler got to really think about that. You know what I'm saying? Are you willing to burn yourself out for them? They already gave you the money. You're going to get that. So do you really rush yourself back out there? Your competitive drive is going to say yes. But now if you really look at it and sit in the bed and not play Call of Duty for a moment, is it really worth it?
I got one for you, too.
Mm-hmm.
They could be rushing him back because they want to be able to show what he can do before they trade him.
Oh, yeah. That's absolutely right. You definitely got that on the head.
Got a new coach in there. And like we mentioned on last week's show, the possibility of them trading him for a first and using that first, because they're probably going to be in the Caleb sweepstakes, but turning around and using that first to go get Marvin Harrison Jr.
A lot of teams are going to be at that cap, man. See a couple of situations. We mentioned the Colts earlier, maybe try to go get them. And Arizona Cardinals try to go get them. Two teams that may be at the bottom of the bowl at the end of the season, to go compete. And that's crazy too, man, because with the wide receiver market opening up, man, a wide receiver is being on a lot of teams' radar that they're going to be at the bottom. It's actually pretty interesting.
Yep, it is.
Definitely interesting. Hey, Arizona, we'll see you number one pick in the draft next year. That's my prediction. As we go to the team that, surprised all last year. A lot of things happened right in Seattle last year, and they're looking to up a notch. And people hope they do. People like me just thinks that they're a guy away. So this is the bold prediction I have, and I agree with PFF because I have the same prediction. He turns back into a pumpkin. Yes, I'm saying it. Geno Smith turns back into a pumpkin. What we've seen of Geno Smith before last year is what we will see. Who's taking Murray's contract? Nobody. Nobody, baby. Nah, man.
Yeah.
Nobody.
He only counts as $16 million this year, but it jumps up to $51 million cap year next year.
And unfortunately, guess what? He ain't playing. Probably not. So that tap hit at 51 is gonna be insane.
Yep.
Insane. But Geno Smith, man, it's gonna turn back into a pumpkin coach. I want Seattle to be good, but I just can't. When I look at Geno, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater all the way, but I just go into that mode. I can't trust him.
That's a conservative assessment. I can see that.
Can't trust him.
Not terrible, but not going to put you over the over the obstacles.
Right, like they say NFL passers should pass for at least 250, 300. As I said, in this game nowadays with everything going on, 250, 300. Geno had some good games last year. But my thing for him is I just always see him as under 200. That's the type of guy he is to me. Maybe 215, you know what I'm saying? A lot of attempts, maybe. You know, they kind of shared him a bit last year in Seattle. You know, shout out to Pete Carroll, you know what I'm saying, for making it make sense. But I just think, like, you can't hide him forever. You can't. Especially a guy that's already had film and tape watched of him. Unless this is just the second coming of a great blossom and a great flower being grown. And this is a guy that, I mean, everybody has their different stories in the league. And this will probably be like one of the first where a guy that struggled half of his career, 85% of his career, had a goddamn good 15% for the rest of his career, because I just don't see it with Geno Smith.
So Geno last year, I thought he had, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I thought he had kind of figured it out, because I think he played within Pete Carroll's system. Yeah, he only averaged like 251 yards a game. But he passed for 42.82, which was 8th in the league. He finished in front of Trevor Lawrence. He finished in front of Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. That's not saying much. Daniel Jones. Not too bad.
So right there, right, 251. Last year, he got over that. Last year was by 1 yard, the 250 average. Got there. He got there. So he got me beat last year. But this year, I see a regression. If he gets up to 75, then he may be in the money for another year. But I just don't see it happening. I think they're going to
he played within the system.
Yep, system guy, absolutely. But hopefully Geno remains humble and not try to get into his Russell Wilson bag. That's why Russell's gone.
Like, I got this.
You know what I'm saying? That's the NFC West Bowl predictions, man. Shout out to everybody, man, tuning in, man. As we continue in the NFC, where direction should we go next?
NFC North.
The NFC North.
I think this is where two gonna get pissed off. I wish my man Will was on here with me, because you know who I'm gonna go with.
You're gonna go with the goddamn. We know who you're gonna go with. You know who you're gonna go with. You're gonna go with the goddamn. You're gonna go with the goddamn Lions, man. That's what you do, man. Hey, gonna go with the Lions.
Down the field, the Lions team that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, we stand and cheer the brave.
So as we open it up, man, we open up with the Detroit Lions, and of course we were waiting upon opening night, and these guys are going to be on our goddamn screens, and I hope they don't make a mockery out of TV. But bold prediction, I'm gonna talk like a Lions fan tonight. The Lions make the Super Bowl.
That ain't a bold prediction. That's insanity.
Insanity rocks, man. A lot of things that the Lions want to go right this year, like the emergence, hopefully, of Jameson Williams. You know, uptick and progressing once again from Jared Goff. This overall, this is a better team. You know what I'm saying? Handling himself, you know, try to get better on defense, and it's overall not try to be the joke of the league. So Detroit this year is a lot of bold statements you can make about them if you're a Detroit fan, figuring that they played exceptionally great last year, you know, and came out with some heart. But overall, everything's bold in Detroit still until they prove to the world that they're really for real. Now, we have the Chicago Bears.
You think Fields figures it out this year?
Does he figure it out this year? I think he does.
That's what Wild does. But
I think
did
he
they
does.
address the albatross, which is that shitty offensive line?
I think so. Because if he's great, the offensive line they don't have to be all around crazy. They just have to improve. And I mentioned this early in the year, like where, like, you know, offensive lines, you know, oh, you got a better offensive line. Well, you may be worse. But in this case, I feel they're trying to improve themselves. They're trying to ignite, you know what I'm saying, and correct the mistakes. And I feel like little by little you will do that. I feel like if you can keep him upright tight this year, man, he'll be good. The offensive line has to improve, like you said, Coach. I think they will improve this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he spent a lot of time. Seeing him picked up out the ground by his lineman.
Hell yeah, man. So I just feel like in all, the Bears has got to win games. Keep it competitive like the line, kind of like what the Lions did last year. Keep it competitive in yourself. Be in that week 14, 15, 16, 17, you know, with a chance. Some respect for the Bears this season. Respect. My bold general statement on the Bears is just be competitive and be respectful. Right. You're not going for a home run stick. Let the Lions shit on their home run stick, and then the Bears can be the next team up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'll say about the Bears. The bold prediction for the Bears this year is Justin Fields will be a top 10 QB.
I can see that. Now, pertaining to my favorite team up north, those Lions, a bold prediction is that Jahmyr Gibbs will end up being running back one as far as PPR. They're going to catch a lot of balls out of the backfield.
And that's the case, and you let Jamal Williams go last year. That's a come up. But I gotta see it. And if he's gonna do it, yeah. I mean, you can have a rough couple games and then ensue to yourself. But I want to see it against the defending champions. I want to see it against the Chiefs, a team that defensively is not really good, but they win championships. So let's see what the Lions and he can do in a situation like that. Can't wait to see that. The Green Bay Packers rolling down Lambeau Field, man. We all know they got a new guy who's been on the bench for a few years, coming up to the big ranks now in Jordan Love. You know, Aaron Rodgers' headache ass is gone. Some of your receivers are gone, but you still got the most important ones. You know, those are the guys in Watson and Dobson that you drafted. You know, got some security blankets in the backfield. You got tight end. You have an offense still that can still, you know, put up some numbers. The question is the development of Jordan Love. In the bold prediction this year is Jordan Love will throw more than 25 touchdowns this year. Bold prediction.
More than 25 touchdowns?
More than 25.
I can see that.
25 is steep. Jordan Love people gonna be like, damn, who? People. I want people on the comment thread, you know, saying to give an answer on that. 25, more than 25 touchdowns for Jordan Love. Those Packer fans are diehard fans, just like you are with your team. We're gonna talk about them in a moment because there's a lot of boldness over there that they've had the last few years. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Beyond Reach 2-man. Shout out to the amazing workshop this weekend. Shout out to Bree and the crew. You know what I'm saying? For enjoying the collaboration with you guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Die for real. It's gonna be interesting in Green Bay this year. It's gonna be interesting. One thing we do know is the apple somewhat turns a good color at the QB position in Green Bay. Will Jordan Love be the bad apple in Green Bay? That is the question here. And last but not least in the North, and that is the Minnesota Vikings. Skull. Now, a year later, kind of the same team, no Dalvin Cook, but you still got Kirk Cousins on the helm. And you got Justin Jefferson, you got Jordan Addison. So you're just looking like now you're just going to be pump up the volume in the stadium. Just looking like you're going to be a straight passing team.
You don't think Madison can do it? I know we talked about him briefly earlier.
I liked him as a backup last year, but there's a big difference between being a backup guy and a main guy. The main feature and the back feature is always a difference. I hope for him well, but they may have let go of Davin too soon. And I'm not. I never meant to disrespect Dalvin Cook. I knew that he was on the decline, but yeah, you probably let him go too soon. Unless you get into the Jonathan Taylor sweepstakes, he may not be the guy that's an all 4-down guy. But if he at least can put up some numbers, then you're decent. Then you're good. You know what I'm saying? You can go find that serviceable back next year in the draft, or if it's Saquon Barkley becomes available next year, because he's only signed for 1 year, unless the Giants tag him or whatever, then that could be interesting. You go get Khalil Williams next year in Minnesota. Minnesota ends up dropping. I don't know if they will, but they probably won't. You can go get him, and then you can go get a running back, and then you have Addison, Jefferson, your new quarterback, Khalil Williams, and you got Barkley. Look at that right there. Minnesota back in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? So it's good that you keep Kurt, because Kurt is good enough to win you some games, but not good enough to get you to that top position. But he's just gonna get you to where you purposely need to be. But this year you may need Kirk to regress a little bit. You paid him too much money. Now it's time for him to regress, because he's still gonna get that money regardless.
For the last 2 years, they've led the league in point differential, as far as they were very close both years and outscoring their opponents or getting outscored. It went against them 2 years ago, but then it benefited them last year. They won all those close games last year. As a Minnesota Viking fan, I'm calling you out, Bree. How stressful is that for you? Because a lot of times you don't know if y'all going to win until the game's over. You can't go into a game and say, we're going to handle our business. I'm picking up, me personally, I'm picking the Lions to win your division.
I'm picking the Bears.
So you see, nobody's picking Minnesota.
Nobody's picking Minnesota, man, and that's because Minnesota didn't come with it. Minnesota's a team the last few years that has been slaughtering the division, but instead they make it close and competitive. And last year's record was like, damn, you blew by these teams, but then you got into the games where it mattered and you stuck. So at the end of the day, it's like, damn. What do you do? I'm not picking Minnesota. You better not pick Minnesota. Good job, Bree. Good job. Good job with y'all. As we go through the NFC North, I kind of want a beverage, so I want to go south, if we could, and that is the NFC South.
NFC South. We got
the NFC South.
NFC South, man. Woo!
NFC South.
I'm looking like the NFC East from a couple of years ago.
I'm gonna be real with you. First off, before we go into this quickly, these teams and their bold predictions. One bold prediction for the division. Somebody have a winning record. First off, that's a bold one for this season. Every team, one team in this division at least have a winning record. At least. Because last year was crazy. It was wild. But prediction number one goes to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Tampa Bay, no more Tom Brady. He's not coming through that door. You still got great receivers. Bold prediction comes in here. Mike Evans will request a trade.
Yeah, it was rumors that he was going to get traded last year.
Definitely was, and like you said, man, Mike Evans, man, you know, if you really watch the game and look at the stats, man's one of the best at his position. You know what I'm saying? And the quarterback question in Tampa Bay is definitely weird. You know, it's not a QB of the future. So if Evans has to end up being with a new guy, why not be with somebody that's experienced? Yeah, I think Mike can ask for a move. 14-3. No, yeah, 14-3 where? Chuck, nowhere here. Not in the South, not in the NFC South.
Let them play.
They still have Bowles there, correct?
They still have who?
Bowles as the coach?
Yeah.
They're about to do Bowles dirty. They're about to do Todd Bowles dirty this year. They're about to do him dirty. If I was Todd, I would have left too when Brady left. I would have just left. I would just join the coaching staff somewhere. Like, it's about to get ugly, man. And then we get ugly in the dirty Atlanta. You mentioned earlier. Bijan Robinson's 12-yard run is sparking all over social media like he ran a 40-yard run. Trying to give me Saquon Barkley early in his career vibes. But, you know, shout out to the running back. Hopefully he does great. But the bold prediction of the Atlanta Falcons season is Atlanta's quarterback. Was it Riddler?
Exactly.
The bold prediction for him is
not addressing that in the draft this year. He showed you what he was last year, to be honest.
Will he be a good QB this year? Will you bet on him being a good QB or being the reason why the Falcons smoke themselves?
He's got a very talented but young tight end. He's got a very talented but young wide receiver in London. And he's got a three-headed monster at running back. So it's not really on. He don't have to go win games for him. Just don't lose them.
Yeah, just be Marcus Mariota. Don't lose him. I definitely feel that. But how long can that? Like you said, how long can that go? If he's respectable in that aspect and they win games, it's kind of bad. Kind of sounds bad right now if you say it, because if he's a guy that you just need to protect the ball in that aspect and not a guy that's really going to show you a lot and make your receivers look good and all that, then you might want to say F this season. But you got a tight end that should be top 5 in the league. You got a running back that people are going to probably pick as their number 1 running back in fantasy drafts. You know, it's definitely the devil versus God right here for the Falcons. Do you want to be good, so good that you become too good right now and you're not supposed to? Or you just want to try it a few years because that's what you can do because they expect you not to really be good anyway.
Right.
That's the opinion on it, man. And they're not going to say they're 14-3 like this next team here. And that's the New Orleans Saints right there.
KK, you are a savior. We yelling black and gold of the Super Bowl. Black and gold of the Super Bowl.
I ain't going no Super Toilet Bowls all they going to. You know what I'm saying? New Orleans Saints. No, well, they're not going 14-3 this year. No, they ain't. But turn the leaf a little bit, man, by signing Derek Carr this season. They will be missing Alvin Kamara for the first 3 games this season of resurgence in Mike Thomas. And we know that Saints defense is always in the pack in terms of great defense in the league. So
Yes.
a bold prediction this year, we mentioned it earlier, and we're just going to say it right now. Jameis Winston will end up being the Saints starting QB.
Ooh, what? Oh.
That's what we're going to say right now. Look at our schedule. No. I'm being real. The schedule is not bad. It kind of gives y'all a little great. It gives y'all a great bounce. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at it too. So for all the jokes that people may have about the Saints, all y'all got to do for me is just have a winning record. I don't care if y'all, even if y'all 10-7, just finish with a winning record. I don't really care what y'all finish. Just finish with a winning record. The Saints could be the team potentially to win the division because when you really look at the teams, this might be the most experienced team at all. Like Tom Brady, when he went to Tampa Bay, he brought the experience. You know, he outsmarted the Saints for years, outsmarted all these teams for years. Now Tom Brady's gone out of Tampa Bay, so Tampa Bay no longer has that leverage or advantage. We just talked about Atlanta. Atlanta don't have that. The Saints are trying to become that.
They do have a cupcake schedule. I'm looking at it now. Obviously, you know, with the division that they have, then they've got the AFC South, so they got Tennessee, Houston, Jacksonville, Indy. That's a cupcake schedule, that part of it. And then it looks like they got the Bears. They got the Lions. Yeah, that's kind of a cupcake schedule.
It's all winnable games, man. Games on Sunday are winnable, man. All the Saints got to go out there is play a good marching song and go win those games.
Did you already put Breeze comment up?
Oh no. I did not put her comment up. This song is going to sound pretty stupid when the Saints don't even make the playoffs, man. Listen, I bet you they make
the hate coming through that comment.
Are you mad because Minnesota? I mean, the Saints might be placing Minnesota as a playoff team.
Ooh.
I don't know, man. You know? Hey,
What up, man?
Yes, sir, man. As we go into our final team of the NFC South, and that is the Carolina Panthers. And their guy, Bryce Young. Shout out to the young man. You know,
we did a whole segment on this division. Why?
Oh yeah, I didn't want to. I had one bold prediction for all these teams, and that's just
win a game, like just winning record.
Winning record. That's all I had.
Yeah. I heard that part.
You know what I'm saying? I was gonna go up. I didn't want to disrespect none of the teams because a lot of our fan base are representatives, you know, the South. So
that's unfortunate for them.
You know,
we won't hold it against them.
You know,
Will came there with a smoking gun, boy.
This whole time I've been talking to Xfinity. They act like they fixed my shit, but I don't know.
Somebody catching that smoke gun.
Ain't never lying.
So in Carolina land, bold prediction. Bold. Bryce Young wins the rookie of the offensive rookie.
It's very bold.
He's good though. I mean, yeah. He might not even be the best rookie in his division, but we'll see. He could be.
Mm-hmm. They talk about the size, things of that nature. It's gonna be exciting to see him, man, in Carolina and see what he can do, man. I mean, you're a long way from being the man in Carolina, Cam Newton, but you know, you could be Jake Delhomme. Jake Delhomme wasn't bad at all. I like Jake. So
yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think he's gonna be good. I don't think skill's the problem with him. I think skill he got to be able to stay healthy. That's all. He's a small guy. That's all. I think we've seen other small quarterbacks flourish. We saw Flutie. We've seen Kyler when he gave a shit. We've seen guys be able to do it, but will they stay healthy? That's the only thing. If he stays healthy, I think he's a good quarterback.
That's true. And
they got to put some more pieces around him, but that's gonna come with time. So hopefully they don't get him killed until they can do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a very delicate line. You got to have a quarterback that's mentally tough to go through those hard times. You don't shake his confidence.
Yeah. And I think he's faced so much adversity throughout the years. I think he'll be fine. I don't think he's going to David Carr it. I think he'll be all right. But he got to physically stay healthy.
Damn.
Why you doing like that, man?
It's not really David's fault, man. They got him murdered. They got him murdered. But I just don't think if they get this kid beat up like that, if he stays healthy, I think he'll still bounce back.
Definitely. Hey, Will, you came at a perfect time, man. You know why?
I always do.
I take the best division for last for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on here, you know.
How many divisions we do today?
Dominance. We did 3. We did the NFC.
And we're finna do the
Next
one.
Next week we're gonna be on the AFC.
You mean I came back and had to deal with more Cowboy shit? I missed all this time. I didn't have to deal with no Cowboys. Come on.
That's right. Let's go.
The Walmart for this, Will.
The NFC East. The NFC East.
Let's
should've
go.
I should have stayed on the phone with Comcast.
Should have stayed on the phone with Comcast.
You know why you're here, Will. You know, deep down in your heart, it's all about what?
And the only thing else I get to say is
How about them Cowboys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The original
Cowboys. Momentarily, we're not gonna name their bold prediction first. We're gonna go into Washington with the Commanders. Bold prediction: the Washington Commanders make the playoffs. Now, first off, we know it's hard for a team in the NFC East to repeat. So it does give Washington a 25% chance to win this division this season. I could give it 25% in front of everybody. That's one true thing I can say about that, and that's not bold. That's the truth. Now,
what
is that bold on you guys that Washington will make a playoffs?
That's some funny math. If the repeat can't happen, they got a 33% chance.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Math,
it's 14.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, yeah, the Eagles are done.
Right, because the Eagles wouldn't be in it, right?
I'm not finding the math, but yeah, I found it. You're
right. Look, win the division, that's gonna be tough. Look, Bieniemy good. I don't know if he's that good, but and how it might be good, we don't know if he's gonna be that good. We see, like, I do like their offense. I like and the defense is, we already know what that's about. If they stay healthy, they're a problem.
Best defensive line in the division.
Yeah. And they may have, if like is it no, you want a bold statement? They may have the best starting 3 receivers of group in the NFL, low key. Because my man McLaurin is as good as almost anybody.
Terry.
And Samuels is nice. And Dotson is a rising star. Watch. He showed flashes last year, got hurt a little bit, but he's a pro. Now I know the Bengals got something to say about that, but we'll have that convo somewhere else, some other time. Hopefully Jake's not here. I don't want to hear it.
Come on.
But Washington got some receivers. They got some weapons. It's about Howell though.
How, man?
They do predict him to be the most sacked quarterback next year.
Really? That's fascinating. I mean, he's gonna try to move, and that'll get him sacked. Right. He is kind of athletic.
Yeah.
But not athletic to outrun defensive ends in the league all the time. So, yeah, it could be. Look, they look good tonight. Like, since I've been dealing with Comcast, I've been watching the game. Sam was looking good early.
This cable still works.
Yeah, I made the smart choice of switching those up, not making them the same company because they be wilding out here.
So they also predict Washington to have a bottom 5 O-line. So it goes into him being sacked like that.
Yeah, that's rough.
Charles Leno Jr. at left tackle is said to be their best player on paper, but they say he epitomized average starting tackle.
and that's what's gonna get Sam Howell led to probably getting sacked, man. Is the offensive line. Like you said, they got a great defensive line. They got great receivers. You know, the offensive line is gonna have to be the ones that pick them up, man. And hopefully the offensive line can, man. But you're playing in the NFC East.
Yeah.
And their defenses, Dallas,
right,
Philly, and New York gonna come up. New York gonna come up.
New York defense been nice. Yeah. What I say is this: is that if you know how to, if there's an OC who can scheme past a bad line, it's Bieniemy. So, because he didn't always have great lines with them Kansas City teams, they didn't. In fact,
but
and
he had the best quarterback in NFL, though.
yeah, I understand that he had Mahomes. He had something special, so that's a little different. He doesn't have that now. But.
Appreciate you. Now we go to Philly land. Philadelphia Eagles, the runner-ups.
That's them cheering.
A bold prediction noted here is that the Eagles will have the best offensive line in the NFL from pillar to post again, as they posted and fielded the number 1 ranked offense last season.
Understood.
They were the only team in the NFL not to change ranking at least once, and they entered 2023 atop these rankings once more.
They earned it.
Talk about O-line or just
O-line, and they earned it.
Yeah, they some bullies. They were making like legitimate backs out of. Don't get me wrong, but like Boston and Gainwell, like who? Like, don't get me wrong, those guys can play, but you put those guys on most other rosters. Yeah, you put those guys on most other rosters, they barely see in the field, probably. So
another one
that
is
line's sick.
You have Jalen Carter wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now we know this man's a terror. We know he's been known as a beast.
That's how I feel already.
Well, I'll come up to that.
100% agree.
Yeah, he's already causing havoc right now.
Wreaking havoc.
I know what I'm looking forward to. Him and Zach Martin going head to head. That's what I'm looking.
It's gonna be fun because it's gonna be pure technique versus and technique and IQ versus just raw talent every snap.
New York.
It's a city.
New York.
It's a weird team. This Giants. It's weird.
The Giants. Yeah,
they overachieved like a motherfucker last year. Like
overachieved. They definitely did, man.
Couldn't name a receiver on a week-to-week basis. Like,
I don't think they made the playoffs this year.
I could see that happening, but here's the thing: all they got to do is defend because Dable gonna have them doing something on offense.
Yeah.
So
he had Daniel Jones looking very, very,
very, very average, which he like they're decent. They
both predict that Daniel's only gonna go up from here.
Yeah, the Dable effect. We'll see.
Josh Allen-ish? Hold on. Is Josh Allen's powers going into
is it like a Space Jam situation? Maybe like
it's conspiracy theory.
He's a monster. He's a monster stealing powers. He could. He could be.
Whoa, listen here, man. It could happen, and that would be crazy if it did happen. Because if
Howell with another score.
Who scored?
Howell with another touchdown throw. My man's out here. I think it's like 2 or 3 now. He's balling.
And the Giants, the coach said another pole prediction was they missed the playoffs anyway. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, unless they can spark a boom, boom, boom and start undefeated or something in the first 8 weeks, like this season, Saquon gonna want to leave because you ain't gonna want to pay him. You gonna franchise him, but I mean, I don't think you can get away with the franchise next year with him. I think somebody's gonna go take that motherfucker if he's there. Be real. If he has a good season this year, yeah, it's over. So, and all the Giants, like you said, they overachieved last year. Mm-hmm. It would be crazy to see them do it again, but they have the coach to do it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they do as good as last year, but they look better, which is going to be a weird situation because I think they're in too tough of a division. Yeah, they'll progress, but they may not win as many games because they're not going to catch as many people off guard this year.
Yeah, I think they're going to get bludgeoned through the division this year.
It's going to be tough. This is a tough division.
Same, man. And last but not least, man, the guys in blue, man, the Dallas motherfucking Cowboys, man. I mean, yep.
Shout outs? We doing shout outs?
Yeah, we're doing shout outs. Shout out to Jerry Jones.
Fucking store.
Shout out to Mr. Quinn. Shout out to Micah. Shout out to the boys, man. But bold predictions. Interesting one right here. Dak earns a career best PFF grade after a year like last year. Hey, this is very bold right here because a lot of money is not on Dak right now. We're actually betting against this motherfucker. Last year was a terrible year, and Dak hopes that they get back into somewhat of the form he was years before that. You know what I'm saying? Chilling out.
I'm going to go on and say it. A lot of people say it's an excuse. I don't think that hand was healed last year.
Who? Wait, who? Say what?
Dak's thumb, the one he broke in the game.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't him. Hell no, it wasn't him.
Nah. I mean, maybe not, but he also just sucked. So it's a little.
Nah,
bit
but they
of a
rushed him
problem.
back because that money's on the line. That money's there on the table, man. You gotta play with that thumb. Fuck that thumb.
Yeah, you gotta play through this shit. Where you want to sit down? Nah, we pay you too much. Yeah.
And a guy that was just signed recently, Trayvon Diggs. Will
Shout out to Diggs, man.
A high PFF grade. Now, does this make Diggs play more and get more bulky as a defender, or have we seen his peak?
Nah, he got a lot. He got a lot to get better. He got a lot of room.
This is what is only his 4th or 5th year playing cornerback ever.
Yeah, ever, right? So
yeah, he still got a lot of upside to him. Just look at last year compared to the year before. Year before, he get
Pick City. But he was getting beat down. Yeah,
I think he gave up like 1,200 yards, which led the league,
and touchdowns for days.
And he cut that shit in half last year. He didn't get all the picks.
He didn't, but he stopped the balls.
He had a hell of a season still.
He started playing. He started doing what the people say he couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? And that's Nick and Buck, and he's going to continue to do that. I can see him getting some more picks this year. I can see him the picks going up. You know what I'm saying? I can see. Let's go, Diggs. Hey, yo. And the last bowl prediction of the night, when Cowboys win the championship, and I said the bowl prediction, baby. I ain't saying it. I said it, baby. Cowboys win the championship this year. I ain't playing no more. I'm going to the parade. I'm going to Dallas twice in the next year. That's what the hell I'm saying right now. I don't care what I'm saying right now, because next week I'm gonna light his Patriots up on this too. You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe I came back for this shit.
Yes, happy.
Is this what you've been hearing your whole life?
Always with this guy. Always. Never stop.
Hey, I know real quick. I think the next evolution that we have to see from Diggs, got his money now. Got Taco Bell, dog.
Hey, look, man. Hey, Prime ain't tackle nobody. As long as he can cover like that, we don't care. Nobody care.
Hey, if he's a threat, if he shuts down a half side of the field, and he's
then you got it. Yeah.
The next time, then we can overlook that. But until then, he knows there and tackle somebody.
I don't want him tackling nobody. I want him taking it 6 the other way every time.
But I am heartbroken. Will knew I was heartbroken Saturday night.
Oh, that crushed me. It crushed me because of how much we've been waiting for it.
I shared a little bit of it too. Yeah, because it was causing havoc. They were saying he was quickly sliding into probably being a starting linebacker with him and Clark. And that's one over Sean.
Yeah, that crushed me, bro. That shit hurt.
Yes, I'll take 2 of them. 2 of them. The Cowboys gonna win.
What are you, Robert Kraft? That's how you get arrested.
I ain't got Robert Kraft money, so they ain't looking for my ass.
That's the fucked up part. With all that money, he went to a little Asian spot. Like, it was probably very cheap. He's stupid.
Somebody coming to his house.
Yeah, like call him this way. What are you doing?
He like married out of town.
You Watson, dog, and you the owner, so you're not like you can snitch on anybody else. Come on, dog. Yeah,
it must be one of those things where you control everything, and then you just want something else where it's not as much control.
Hey, so I'll tell you that sometimes rich people just wants to live the middle class lifestyle. Like that's just what it is. Like you know, you want to go.
He was like, "Now spit in my face." Like it's like fucking weirdo. Get your shit together, Robert. Bob.
Oh my god, man!
Get your shit, collect it all up, put it in a backpack, get your shit together.
I'm the owner of the Patriots. What you mean?
Fucking dumb is what he is. Oh, that Kraft macaroni and cheese. You over here doing dumb shit.
Hey, yo, amazing night, man, on the play call sheet, man. Like I said, we call audibles, we score touchdowns. We don't wait for game-winning drives, man. We slapping you up from the go, man. You know, Patrick Mahomes style. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs on this fabulous night.
Shout out to you fellas for holding it down. Yeah, Yeah, I had to deal with some internet issues. I tried my hardest to miss the Dallas segment, and yet I still couldn't. So
I said, Will. I was the one that was messing with the Wi-Fi all night.
I see how my dog is.
I do what I can. I do what I can. But nah, yo, shout out to y'all for holding it down. Appreciate it. You know, we're gonna keep crushing it. We'll be back tomorrow I gotta come up with a fucking topic for tomorrow's show.
Chop up, man. Shout out to everybody.
Chop up.
Shout out to everybody. Man. And breathe. I think they will sign Hunt if they can't get Jonathan Taylor. Now Jonathan Taylor wants to mix. If they can't get Jonathan Taylor, they're gonna sign Kareem Hunt, man. Shout out to Kareem Hunt, man. That's my guy, man. And it sucks what happened to him, man. But he's a very, very serviceable running back in his football league right now. A guy that knows that he has to play second fiddle, and he will. He played last year with the hopes of the Browns. He just wanted, a couple more dollars. I think the Vikings will be able to do that for him. Yeah.
It'd just be weird if they passed on signing Cook to just sign Hunt. They're like the same dude in terms of careers. It's a very similar situation.
They quite get over that hill.
Really good, all the talent in the world, and then went through some shit, and then you lost favor, so you didn't get the money you wanted, then you started bitching about money, and that's the same exact story for kind of both of them.
Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out, man. Shout out to the Connects. Shout out to Bree. Shout out to Coach gonna name the rest of the list, but I just want to name a couple people real quick. I want to shout out to Anthony. I want to give a shout out to Lewis. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to all the newcomers that I seen tonight. I seen a couple of new names. I seen an ass kicker from Detroit. Frankie, shout out to you as well. Dale, BS and Bill Media. We'll have a wrestling show this weekend, man. So, be on the lookout for that. We out here.
You doing good, man. You almost got everybody.
Almost got everybody. Damn. I'm going to get them next week.
Kneecap biting with the Detroit Lions was in there. Josh was in there. Bush 1G.
So
everybody else.
Jake, you're too needy.
And Jacob. Hi, Jacob.
No, Jacob. You're too needy. You're too needy. Cut it out.
Jacob. And Jacob, too. Jacob James, State Farm.
Jacob need a hug.
Matt Jones.
He called him Mac Jones. I'm sick. That's funny.
Shout out to you fellows, man. Shout out to everybody that hung out with the crew tonight. Again, I can't say it enough. Shout out to my fam, man. Y'all did it big for your boy this weekend. I enjoyed every day. I got no rest from Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I rested today. So I really appreciate y'all, man. Love. We're going to be here tomorrow, 7:30 sharp, because we got our topics to talk about tomorrow. Got some real good shit for you now. But make sure y'all hang out with your boys on the chop up. Other than that, you have a good night.
Peace out. Take care.
Find this podcast and others on STWF TV, the Podcasting Network, wherever you get podcasts.